Hey, good morning, Bob. Trade Genius, 8th of March. So I'm going to go through some charts here. I have a lot to go through, so I'll talk quickly. So Bitcoin had this big sell-off. I guess people are figuring out somebody's just dumping coins on the market, satisfy creditors. So the news is out now. And I added a second linear regression line to my charts because volatility has picked back up across the board, and it just gives us tremendous opportunities to find things that get wildly overbought or oversold, so for trading. And so Bitcoin blew through 4 deviations from the linear regression line. This is looking back the last 100 hours, and it put a hammer into boot. Good place to take a buy. My signal hit here, and so it's grinding, but pretty steep angle. We'll see if it holds. I'd love to see it flip on the linear volatility stop side too. But at this point, this looks like a target area. Ethereum, same. Litecoin, the same. Ripple, the same, except it's a little less steep. And the same with Monero. So everything broke through the bottom of this. This is a good buy area for a trade. It's just a nice thing to set up in your charts just in general, and just to look for opportunities when things just get stupidly oversold. Now I'm going to flip over to the ETF side, and since things are normalizing, what I like to do and look at first is you look at what's happening in Germany. We tend to follow this market, by the way. Okay, and so here's the German stock index, the DAX. It's down slightly, so that just tells me that the market's going to be, our market is going to have a neutral to negative aspect of it today, and that makes sense. Today's the day before the employment report. Probably not a whole lot of action. The next thing I like to look at is on the VIX. Okay, then they slightly rolled the VIX down here overnight, but it's getting to a point where it's now 2 deviations away, and it's the bottom of its channel here, and so we'll see if it holds here. If it does, that also supports a little bit neutral to bias. I suspect it will push up a little bit heading into the employment report. And then now flipping over to the futures. So we'll start off with looking at the ES. Okay, and it's up slightly, and definitely in an uptrend from the from that huge sell-off we had a couple days ago, but it's coming up here on a double top, so just something to keep an eye on. My suspicion is that the futures will be pretty flat today, so I'll show you another chart here on the future side that we like to look at. Okay, so we like to look at 5-day, 15-minute, and so we're just basically hovering. And by the way, the other chart has a delay in it. This is real time, so it's been pretty flat all day. Money flow's already overbought, and this is a different way of looking at deviations. This is deviations from volatility standpoint, and you know, so if 1 deviation away is 2742. This is 2762, but with the VIX falling, it's kind of difficult for me to see it probably breaking out of these bands here today. So if you're a Nadex trader and it pushes up to here and you get the money flow to roll over, it's probably a good trade for the end of the day right here. And then flipping back over to these charts here, Looking at oil. Oil looks like it may want to roll back over again. It hit this bottom here. It was good for a trade. Nice, almost $1,000 per contract. Did it here a couple days ago. Had a nice move, but it looks like it's round tripping now. Looks like it's probably going to come right back to this bottom again. Take a peek at gold. Okay, gold's in an uptrend, and usually Thursdays before an employment report, they like to beat gold down, and so I wouldn't be surprised to see some more pressure on gold, and to be something to keep an eye on. And but if it breaks this level here, it'd probably be an area to take a shot long, because it's been bouncing on that. And then we have natural gas. Okay, it's had a really strong move. Okay, it's coming down here, and it has its report today, so we'll have to see what it does. But my suspicion is that natural gas is going to continue to rise because of the just the momentum of the weather reports, and the draws I think are going to compel it to move higher. And by the way, this thing doesn't work for futures, so don't worry about these. I just didn't want to turn them on and off 100 times. And then let's see here. Where I want to go into is into my charts again, just show you what we own. Okay, so we have First Majestic. I'm ready to start buying some more again, so I'm going to either buy it on the next buy signal, or I'm going to wait till it comes down here and probably buy around 550 to add to my, I'm 60% of the way there. I love AG because if this thing moves, it'll go from $6 to $10 in a heartbeat. And then we own corn. I'm going to be moving the stop up on corn, and I'll probably move it up pretty tight here. 1780s. I have good profit. I don't want to lose it at this point. And then we have silver, and with silver is took our first position in silver, and you just didn't know if it was going to break out. And then I'll buy more silver at 1545. I have a 40% position right now, but it's also gliding higher. And then we already talked about natural gas with my own UNG, and so it's had a nice move as well. And I'll be moving my stop up depending on what this report does, but I may just put it up here around 2290, and we got in at 2230, so pretty nice trade even if I get stopped out there. And be taking a look at some other opportunities here going into next week, but my suspicion is that today will be probably pretty flattish, and so I may take a look at day trading SVXY to see if I can get a couple $100 out of the trade today, but day trade only. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.